getting the YouTube going. YouTube keeps on kicking us off. But don't worry. We're back. YouTube can't stop us. Just want to make sure we got sound. We got the other tablet right here. Just a little slow. Right after these commercials, I'll know if we have sound or not. One more commercial. Would you look at that? Gotta watch commercials on your own lives. Let's see. Lives. Yep. We got volume, so that's good. But let's see. What can we talk about, guys? We can talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Arm wrestling, powerlifting, strength-related stuff. I know it's an early one, but that's the time we got. I talked about it a little bit in the last live we had going before YouTube kicked us off, but I'm not sure if that live is still up or not. Sometimes the video will just disappear. So I'll say it again. We're gonna get a new phone. Today's the day, around 11 noon. I think that's the got to make an appointment. But with that being said, the new phone means we'll be able to get the join feature. The join feature is apparently it's only a mobile feature for cell phones. It doesn't work on the tablet. So once we get the phone, we'll be doing the old pre-lift, post-lift live with Josh. Josh will be joining when he can. This is good, clean fun. We got all our friends in the chats. I mean, it's an early one, so everyone might still be sleeping. But all our friends overseas, they're probably it might be dinner time. So maybe they'll hop on. Let's see. I guess while I have everyone, this would probably be a good time to say, if you want to get some sweet t-shirts, here's one of them, the Turtle Man 2. Nice t-shirt. Here's our sponsors on the back. You might notice a couple of them are familiar. You can Bow on the Go, Bow on the Go. Thomas Dearborn, the STONEtv, the Team Stone, the Wall Wizard, Melissa's Law Firm. Let's see, are we missing any? Oh, the Diner. The Diner. How can we forget the Diner? These shirts are available. Just shoot me a message on Facebook. We'll be able to mail it right to your house. So this is out of all the things I'm going to show you, this is the only merchandise that the discount is not applied to. The reason for that is 100% of money from these Turtle Man shirts is given to the Turtle Man charity. But if you are a member, you can use your discount for stuff like this. The Team Stone shirt, you got 5% discount on Team Stone shirts. Get it the same way you get the Turtle Man shirt. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. You do like Cash App or whatever, one of those online payments, and we'll be able to mail it right to your house. Oh, what's up, CSC, also known as Trading? What's up, man? Yeah, it's an early one. But also, let's see. We got things like the corn cob handle. Corn cob handle. It's called the corn cob because it kind of looks like a corn cob. If you've ever eaten a corn cob, it kind of looks like one. It's a multi. You can do pretty much anything with it. If you know, if you're watching my recovery workouts, even my heavy stuff, I've been doing my high angle side pressure, high knuckle side pressure with this handle. I'll set it from the top cable, so I'll be going sideways with the strap set up in this position, high angle, and side pressure. It's a very tough angle. I think there's going to be lots of carryover. I also do it for my pronation. Pronation, flip it over, supination, whole bunch of stuff, rise, flip it up, deviation. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I've even been messing around with like different angles, high flexion, low flexion, messing around with stuff. So far, I think it works best for pronation, supination, rise, deviation. You can still definitely do a whole bunch of stuff, but I think that's this what you'll be able to get most out of it. But these handles are still pretty new, so people are experimenting with them, trying them out. I don't think anyone's going to be able to break these things unless they run it over with a tank or something. And last but not least, Team Stone straps. Nice buckle, nice and long in case any of your friends have fat hands. And as Josh says, you can use it as a belt. I might need 2 of them to use that as a belt, but it would be a great belt. And also, if you're a member, you'll be able to use that 5% discount on coaching. So that's online, FaceTime, and also if you can make it to the Labyrinth in person. I do in-home training as well. I'll go to, if it's depending on the distance, we'll do, there's a couple people, they have gyms in their house. I'll train them in their gym. But let's see. Trading says, why do you stream? A whole bunch of reasons, I guess. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's a lot of work, but most of the time it's fun. Get to meet a lot of new people, get to promote the sport, get to promote Team Stone, spread the gains around. We can't have people missing gains. That would be insane. That would be unresponsible, missing gains. So those are a few reasons. But let me flip that question over to you, Trading. Why do you said why do I stream? Why do you watch? Is there a certain reason? Do you like our sense of humor? Do you like the arm wrestling? Do you like maybe you like your friends in the chats? I know yesterday you had some friendly discussions. But guys, remember to hit that thumbs up button. I see we got some people. We haven't got any thumbs up. It looks something like this. A little something like this. A little more cartoon-like. But it looks just like that. It's going to be good. Today's training is going to be a recovery workout. I might do one exercise medium and then the rest of the workout recovery. We also have arm wrestling training tonight. So if anyone's in the area and wants to get some arm wrestling training in, 5 p.m. It's going to be a good one. Sailor's got a match. She's got a left arm match. So we got to get her ready for her match. Get the training down. It's going to be a good one. Let's see. If you guys have any certain topics you'd like to talk about, arm wrestling, powerlifting, strength related. So let's see. Trading says I only watch every now and then, as I am not on YouTube much, but I like the authenticity of your streams. There's too much fake nonsense online nowadays. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of fake stuff out there, clickbait stuff. I'm not a fan of the fake stuff. Um, so we try to be real, you know. So I appreciate that. But you'd be surprised. I was let's see, I can't. Once in a while, I'll like scroll through lives. I'll just. I'm curious to see like what gets the views, and like what people like to see, or and it's very interesting. Um, because I've seen some weird stuff like you know, the person was just sleeping, or pretending to sleep out. It was very strange, and they had a lot of views, like thousands of views. Let's see. Josh has never got notified. What the hell, man? YouTube slacking. YouTube is slacking, man. They even kicked me off. This is my second time making the video. They kicked me off the first time, and I don't know if that video's still there. They might have deleted it. So let's see. Trading says it would be easy to get views if you wanted ton. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess I can see what you mean. I mean, we definitely like the views, but we'd like the views to be cool people. That makes sense. But maybe trading. Maybe you got some ideas for us to get more views. You got any ideas? Bhutan, what's up, man? He says, yo. And trading says, I have to go walk my dogs. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Hopefully, it's not too snowy where you're from. Josh says, thanks for the comment, chat. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if our friends in the chat could just hit that thumbs up button, we like to get a nice even same number of people that we have likes. That'd be awesome. So if you guys can hit that thumbs up, definitely helps out. Let's see. Practice is today. It's going to be a good one. Sailor's got our match, so we got to get it ready. Left arm match. I'll tell you what, Sailor picked a good team to get ready with, because we got a lot of good lefties on the Tuesday. I got a question for you guys. What percent of arm wrestlers do you think are righties, and what percent do you think are lefties? Meaning their better arm. I would say it could be somewhere between 70 to 80% righty. Maybe. It's tricky. It's an interesting question. I say it could even be that high. Josh says 90 to 10, right over left. Yeah, I could definitely see that. especially I feel like in in my local area, it's a little different. I would say it's mostly 50-50. I think it's pretty well split. We got a couple guys that only pull lefty, they won't even pull right. Um, but as I go to other teams, out of the state, I really notice the right hand dominance. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Um, because Josh, even at your team, Kevin and Sean are probably the best lefties, if I'm not mistaken. And then, at least from what I've seen that one day of practice for who was there, I think Sean and Kevin are the lefties. I mean, they're definitely great right, but their hammers are the left. So that's interesting. Voodoo, what's up, man? He says, "Good morning, boys." Josh says, "Bro, the top guy in the world only decided to pull left only due to an injury on the right." LOL. Very true. Very true. I think that's how the guys on our team became lefties only. They have some injuries on the right, so that's how they became lefties only. So let's see. Voodoo says, "Bring Nick down to Princeton High Hookers, Josh." All right, sounds like a good practice, man. Um, let's see. Where is that? What state is that from, Voodoo? Ham Hoagie says, "What's up, big guy? Team Stone, absolutely." Ham Hoagie says, "The camera guy with us in spirit." He's definitely here, man. He's definitely here. We could all feel it. Voodoo says, "West Virginia." Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not too far. That's not too far. Maybe 3 to 6 hours, somewhere in that range. But yeah, man, we could definitely set something up. What days do you practice, Voodoo? We practice on. You practice on Saturday. Oh, very nice. I practice on Saturdays and Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays and Sundays, depending on what state. But Voodoo, if you want, let's see, about maybe 10, 15 comments up, Nightbot put my Facebook link right in the comments. If you want, shoot me a Facebook friend request and a message, and we can probably set something up. We can set a big practice up. We'll bring the YouTube stuff down. We get a whole bunch of video, a whole bunch of games. Maybe we can even do something fun after practice, like I don't know. Is there any fun activities to do in West Virginia? It's got to be something. Football. Good day, folks. What's up, football? Voodoo says, "I don't have Facebook." What about Instagram? You got Instagram? So I'll say that's another option, because Nightbot put the Instagram in there. Josh says, "I practice to practice." Hashtag God level. Practice is practice. Very true. But that's good. And Voodoo says, "Have Josh give you my contact." We might be able to do that. We might be able to do that, because I am around 11, 12 o'clock. I'm getting a new phone today. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'm going to see what there is. Football says, "Where's Josh?" He's in the chats. Don't worry, football. I've been using a tablet since my phone broke to do the lives. Like right now, this is on a tablet. With the tablet, there is no join feature. So when we've been going live since I broke my phone, we've been using StreamYard. But StreamYard only allows us like 20 hours a month. So we're saving those hours for when we get some guests. You know what I mean? So we can have like a whole bunch of people on. We can fit up to 6 people. So that being said, if any of our friends wants to hop on live one time, that'd be awesome. With the StreamYard, we have like before we go live, we can get everyone in. And so what we'll do is, if anyone wants to hop on before we go live, we'll just talk about the rules of the YouTube before we go live. This way, we don't get deleted from YouTube. Josh says right here, ... And football says he called in sick today with a little laughing face. I don't think Josh gets sick. I don't know if he gets sick. Maybe if he's like away from technology for too long, he might feel a little out of it. Maybe low batteries. He might feel like low batteries, but he's here. He's here, football. Football says he gets sick. That's funny. Yeah, everyone gets sick once in a while. Football says he ain't Superman, LOL. Well, you're going to have to ask Josh that. He might beg to differ. Football says everyone gets sick from time to time. Definitely true. Definitely true. You know what that reminds me of? Josh, just keep thinking that. What it reminds me of is the sick talk is the injuries. At least when I was in powerlifting, I used to hear all the time people would say, I've never gotten injured. I've never gotten injured. And, they've been in powerlifting for quite a while. But people's thoughts on injuries. So, like, the people that also say they never gotten injured, and you ask them if they ever pulled their hamstring or pulled a muscle, they would say yes. So some people have different mindset towards injuries. Some people don't count muscle pulls or minor injuries as actual injuries, and some people do. So maybe it's the same thing without being sick. Some people get a little sick, don't count it, and some people get a little runny nose and they say they got the flu or something. Football says, you ever broken a bone? So the closest I've come to breaking a bone was let's see, maybe just fractures. Nothing completely broken. I fractured my sternum years ago, that was a rough one, and my right hand has been fractured a couple times. No breaks though. The bones have been pretty good. Josh says I broke a growth plate in the tip of my middle finger. So does that mean it always gets stuck up? It's like you can't help it. You can't help flipping people off because it's broken. It healed wrong, so it's just stuck up. That would be funny. And football says, damn, just noticed you got a different bass jumper. Oh yeah, a hoodie. I call them hoodies. Definitely new. I'm not gonna wear this one in the gym though. We'll keep this one nice. Even the hands are nice. I'll wear the red one in the gym. I'll keep this one nice for a little bit. or as long as I can, you know. But I wear the red one. I use that one as my beat up one. But I was waiting for that. I was wondering how long it would take. You know, everyone noticed the old red one. Now we got the new black one. Justice, yeah, don't destroy that one, LOL. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. It's tricky. It's tricky. Let's see. Anything interesting happened since last night's video? Well, actually, we do a video. Yeah, we did the second lift recovery lift video last night. Anything interesting happened since yesterday? Any crazy arm wrestling matches announced? Any new promotions coming out of the woodworks? I wonder if there's any update on Lavon's injury. I'm just curious on the estimated recovery time. I'm still not sure if it's a muscle or a tendon that ripped. Because when I first saw it, it looked like a tendon. It looked like the actual bicep tendon. But it's interesting. Doing the old pre-lift live. Football says any pets. So I just happen to have a three-legged Chihuahua. Very mean. Well, he's nice if you got food on you. You know what I mean? Like if you just cooked something and you got some smell of food on you, he'll be nice to you. But he's very grumpy, very mean. But he can be nice. His name is Big Frank, the three-legged fat Chihuahua. We got some videos of him up, in shorts and stuff like that. If you want to see what the three-legged Chihuahua looks like. Yeah, for Chihuahua, he's a pretty good dog. Football says, what happened to his other leg and why you get that breed of dog? So it wasn't my choice. Just kind of showed up and it's either keep him or throw him out in the woods. So we decided to keep him. But yeah, he's a Chihuahua mix. So he's like a Chihuahua, right? He's a mix with a whole bunch of stuff. I just say Chihuahua because that's what I think he is mostly. He's a mutt thing. What happened to the other leg? I'm not sure. Talked to the vet, and they're not sure either if it's a birth defect, from like those breeders that breed the dogs to look a certain way. So it could have been a birth defect, but it also could have been an injury. So I think he was originally from Florida or Texas or something. So maybe he got, I always like to say, maybe he got into a little tussle with an alligator. The alligator got his leg, but Big Frank got his eye. So if you see an alligator down in Florida with one eye, that's the alligator that Frank messed up. So that is funny. That is funny. If anyone out there is looking into getting a small dog, what I would say is first off, if you're in an area with a lot of hawks and eagles, we got a lot of bald eagles in my area, a lot of hawks. Um, be careful, because Frank has been swooped a couple times. When I walk him, the hawks have tried to swoop him. And I like to think when those hawks see Frank walking around, he's got a limp, so he probably looks extra tasty to those predators, because he's got a limp. But I like to think those hawks are flying around like, holy cow, look at that squirrel. That's the fattest squirrel I've ever seen. That is funny. Ham Hoagie says, my brother had a tiny dog. He named him Eagle Bait. Oh, that definitely fits. I tell you what, those eagles, as soon as they see Frank, they start flying around. They start strategizing. I tell you what, they're going to need at least 2 or 3 eagles, to fly away with it, fly away with Frank. He's heavy. He's like 13, 14 pounds. He's supposed to be like 7. For some reason, he gains weight. Let's see, Ham Hoagie. So your brother had a tiny dog. So I don't know if you ever noticed. So I've never owned a tiny dog besides Frank. He's a tiny big dog. Like, he's supposed to be little, but he's about double the size of what he's supposed to be. So he's big little. But have you ever noticed that little dogs smell like corn chips? You ever notice that? If once in a while, if Frank is, in the blankets or whatever, and you go to pick him up, you get a big old waft of corn chips. So that must be something that the little dogs just smell like corn chips. Ham Hoagie says, Nick, how many eagles could you fight off before being overwhelmed? So that's a tricky question. I think location matters. If I'm in the air, if I'm on their turf, if we're in the air, I don't think I'm gonna do too well. I mean, I'll be okay until I hit the ground. If we're on land, that's where I get my advantage. But I'm not sure how many. I would say at least one. That is funny. Ham Hoagie says, bro, our chocolate labs smelled like corn chips and our other labs smelled like buttered popcorn. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, whatever the dog body odor is, it just smells like that. It's very strange. It smells like, he's been sleeping in a bag of corn chips, rolling around in it for months. Ham Hoagie says, you'd be on land. There's no limit to the eagle flock, so you need to have home advantage. Do I get a weapon? Maybe I get a tennis racket, or something like that. Maybe, we got a lot of, people from England and India. Maybe we'll get a cricket bat. Is that what it's called? The cricket bat? But I think the tennis racket might be even funnier. Just Imagine hitting a eagle attacking you, and then you just clock the thing with a tennis racket and send the thing flying. That would be a good video. That would be funny. That is funny. See, Hamogi says barehanded. Your weapon is size and land advantage, but you can use dismembered eagle's parts. Okay, so we're on to something. So I just got to grab an eagle, and I can start swinging that eagle around to hit other eagles. So as long as I get that first eagle, use the eagle as a as a melee weapon, I think we'll be good. Maybe if I get enough of them, we could even start throwing eagles like ninja stars. That would be funny. Oh, Hamogi, if you win, the next fight is against EPA and PETA. Well, I think that might be a little bit of an easier battle. Those people are a little malnutritious. They're missing some nutrients from some diets. So I think it should be flipped the other way around. I think you should go after PETA first. The Eagles sound like the boss compared to PETA. Football says using your dog as bait to get eagles and use them as weapons. I mean, if I'm allowed to have Frank with me, those eagles have no chance. I'll be throwing Frank like a football with jaws. He is pretty much football shaped. It's like a football with a head and 3 legs, 3.5 legs. He's got a little nub where that 4th leg is. Ham Hoagie's laughing out loud to football's comment. Very true. And Ham Hoagie says, I got us so far off track, LO. That's all right. It's a fun one. Talking about fighting eagles with eagles, using eagles to hit eagles. But that's good, clean fun. And that being said, we're back. That is funny. Some reason I thought of this story. I can't remember where I was. It was at like a little store and like knickknacks or whatever, like like little art, glass made stuff. And there was this piece of a like an eagle claw holding like a marble kind of thing. And I asked the guy at the counter, I go, could I see, would I be able to see that claw close up? And the guy's response working in the store is he goes, he screams at me, he goes, it's not a claw, it's a talon. And I go, okay, can I see the talon, please? So, for some reason that story popped in my head, but I thought it was so funny because the guy got so intense when I called the eagle's talons claws, but he was sure to tell me they're not claws, they're talons. So I wonder if anyone else has had an experience like that. That's a funny one. Well, that's good, clean fun. Let's see. What else can we talk about? We talked about eagles. We talked about a whole bunch of eagles. Let's see. Ham Hoagie said should have called them pause to see if he would have stroked out. LOL. I mean, he probably would have. I mean, he looked like he was ready to swing. I was just trying to get a gift for somebody. I just wonder how many times a day did that guy had to go through that. You know, they're not claws or talons. That is funny. Well, that's good, clean fun. That is good, clean fun. If anyone's in the area, practice is today, 5 p.m. If you don't know the location to practice and you want to make the trip, shoot me a message on Facebook. I mean, I still have it hooked up on this tablet, but I'll have the phone later on today, so I'll have it hooked up. But Facebook is hooked up. Oh, speaking of Facebook, if anyone's wondering what Facebook is, Nightbot put it right there in the comments. So, click that link, send me a friend request, shoot me a message. So I know people have been sending me friend requests, but I can't tell. It's hard to tell. It's hard for me to tell who it is from the YouTube name to the Facebook name. So if anyone sent me a friend request that I haven't accepted, shoot me a message so I know it's one of our friends from YouTube. Good old social medias. Let's see. That's what I'm talking about. Ham Hoagie said just weighed in at 250 pounds. I'm slowly catching up to stone weight. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. I haven't weighed myself since the last match. I was heavy. That was the heaviest I weighed, not being sick. I got sick, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. No, it had to be more than that. It had to be more because I was still powerlifting. So it had to be like 8 or 9 years ago probably. I can't remember what it was. Some type of infection or something like that. It just caused me to like swell up. I got to like 348, but that was just from being swollen. I can't. Maybe it was the medicine. I can't remember. The heaviest I've ever been was like 348, I think. But that was sick. From the medicine just caused you to swell up. But the heaviest I ever weighed while being, in shape, healthy was 338, and that was the last match. I don't know what I weigh right now. I haven't weighed myself since. I'm probably about the same. If you guys have been following along, you've been seeing that I've been eating a lot of food, a lot of really good food. Trays, like when I say trays, I literally mean trays and trays of food. And with the holidays, we got all the desserts and the cookies and all that stuff. And Hoagie says the triple cheeseburger and raw milk is doing work. That absolutely is. That is awesome. That is awesome. It's going to be some mega gains. But I know who else likes that raw milk. Wade, if I'm not mistaken. Your buddy Wade, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing him at a tournament chugging on the old whole milk, or the raw milk, I should say. Football says, "What did you eat for Christmas dinner?" So it was a good one. We had like roast beef and You know, a whole bunch of roast beef and some gravy and some potatoes, and I think there's even some macaroni and cheese, and yeah, a whole bunch of good stuff. But roast beef was the main course, so it was good. How about you? What did you eat for dinner? Hamogi says, laugh out loud, as if you know about Wade's raw milk addiction. He's the one that got me hooked. Yep, it's very addictive. It's very addictive. Once you start, it's hard to stop. You can't stop until you get to the last drop out of that gallon. And then the next thing you know, you're got the itch, starting to open up another one. But you guys should probably, take the next step. You guys are carrying around jugs of raw milk. What you guys should do is maybe just get a little pet cow, maybe a goat. Maybe a goat would be easier, but maybe a cow. Just walk around with a cow all day. And when you're thirsty, just bend down and get a little drink from the udders. Can't beat that. That's quality. That is quality. And if anyone gives you a hard time, like your bosses or whatever, just tell them you're bulking. And if they don't understand, then their opinion doesn't even matter. That is funny. Oh, that's true. Hamogi said, I can't have a pet cow because I like beef more than milk, lol. Ah, that's the tricky thing. That's the tricky thing. So this is what we're going to do. When you get your pet cow, you're going to have to keep a bag of beef jerky on your side. So if you ever get that itch, I need some beef, just pull out the beef jerky. Maybe that will help carry you over for a little bit. But I feel you. The farm down the street's got a whole bunch of cows, and every time I walk by them when I do my walks, every time I walk by, I'm like, man, I could definitely catch that thing. But I don't. We'll wait. We'll wait. That would be a funny video though. Just out there chasing cows with like a fork and a knife and a bib on. Maybe a bottle of barbecue sauce or something. That would be a real funny video. Let's see. Let's see. So Josh says, okay, I found the invite and guest feature on the YOLO. I couldn't find it because it's only available in the live stream mode, not in monitor mode, where I do a lot of my testing. Okay, so we it sounds like we got the YOLO box figured out. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is really cool. So maybe I don't know what Josh's schedule is like, but maybe we can get him on for the recovery lift. Just maybe. I know people have been asking, where's that camera guy? Justin, still get a phone though. Yep, we're gonna get a phone. Today's the day. I tell you what, I mean, it was not having a phone. I mean, it's definitely a lot of annoying things, but there are a lot of good things. Like kind of feels like a blast from the past. You know, but it's definitely time. It's definitely time I get the phone because it's been long enough. Oh, got some little birdies over there. Let's see. There's the little birdie I was looking at. Well, let's bring it back. Football says, why you need a phone? Yeah, it broke a while ago. The phone served its purpose. I mean, it survived an explosion. It survived a fire. It survived my fat fingers, but now it's peacefully resting. And yeah, it served its purpose. Josh says the fact that I can't just call you annoys me. Hello. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. It only works at least I can do the Facebook calls at only when I got Wi-Fi. Josh says, can add thumbnails now. This is awesome. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. How does this thumbnail look? Is it the I used the STONEtv, the live lift, but YouTube did this weird thing when it went up. It like I've never seen it before. It had the thumbnail I picked, but it like split it in half, and then one half was on one side, but the opposite half was on the other side. So is that how it looks, or does it look regular? Let's see. Ham Hoagie says Josh is like the hacker guy from Grandma's Boy. He needs a black trench coat and 5 monitors hanging from the ceiling. Oh man, JP. You talking about JP? I watched that movie so many times as a kid. Grandma's Boy is funny. It's a funny movie. I think that dude, his name is JP. Josh says, nope, it's normal. Okay, that's cool. So it just must have been a weird glitch on my end. Ham Hoagie says, yep, JP is the man. The robot voice. That's a funny one. I remember the first time watching that movie as a kid, and I don't remember the scene where he's like hiding on the wall with the trench coat over his face, and he's he thinks he's invisible. I remember being a kid and be like, what the hell is going on? Now that I'm older, that's a funny scene. What's the grandmother's name? I don't know the name, but she was real funny in that movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. Josh says, I have 4 monitors. ... Got to get one more to get to that JP status. It was a good movie. Trying to think of some quotes from that movie that I could say on YouTube, but I don't think I can remember any clean ones. And Josh said, I have a portable one that makes 5. Hello. So we are there, man. We're at JP status. What was he, a prodigy? He was a prodigy? A video game prodigy or something like that, or a computer prodigy? So we're off to a right start. We're off to a great start. Josh says, except I'm JT. Very true. Very true. I think JP is the bad version, the bad guy, but the JT is the good guy, the good version, He's in the Grandma's Boy. The JP, he stole the dude's video game, and the grandma Had to win it back. Josh says, I'm bringing sexy back. ... Yep. Ah, kind of sounds like a song. Just might be. I think it's a Backstreet Boys song or something like that. But the reason why I say that is I have this funny story. I said it before, I think. But when I was a kid, there was a band called the name of the band was the Backstreet Boys Are Gay, and I thought they were a real band. I never heard of the Backstreet Boys. I heard of the Backstreet Boys Are Gay, the band, and I thought they were a real band. So we're at I'm a kid. We're on a family vacation, and one of the songs comes up. So I'm getting all excited because I think the song is from the Backstreet Boys Are Gay, the song that's making fun of the Backstreet Boys. And I can't remember the name of the song, but the first lyrics of the song was the Backstreet Boys Are Gay. So I go to sing it in the car thinking everyone's going to sing along with me. Everyone in the car looks around and says, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I was thinking the same thing when I heard the real song. I'm like, what song is this? This is not the right song. And then slowly I figured out the band I was listening to, which I thought was the original, was a I don't know, whatever, like a slapstick band where they make fun of the songs. But I thought that was funny. Let's see. Josh says, "Oh well," and he says Justin Timberlake. So that must be what that song is from. Ham Hoagie says Grandma Lily was her name. By the way, sorry for the late response. Coworker was bugging me. Next time that happens, next time that coworker starts bugging you, just karate chop them right in the throat, and they'll learn. If they don't learn, if they come back, just do it again, and they should learn eventually. Football says the Backstreet Boys Are Gay? ? Yeah, so that was the name of the band that I thought was the original band when I was a kid. So if you guys want to look, I don't know if it's still around. I'm sure it's still up on YouTube. I'm sure if you type in that, the Backstreet Boys Are Gay, I bet the band will come up. Picture Boy says, yo, you remember me? Yeah, man, we remember you. Welcome back. We're talking about movies and music. But don't worry, we always bring it back to arm wrestling. So I'm not sure what you mean by that picture. Might be a little bit of a typo. I can't put those the words, the last two words. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, that's a guy's name. He says he's a songwriter. I don't think so. I don't think I've heard of him. Maybe I've heard of a song, "Boy with Uke." Is that what is? I never heard of it. Is it funny? Is it funny songs? So I like the funny songs. You know the songs when you listen to the lyrics. It's like a stand-up comedy. He says, "Nah, more like chill. Oh, chill stuff is cool. I like to listen to chill stuff when I'm driving. It's always good, you know. Different moods, different music." But the picture, it's been a while since you've been hanging out with us again in the live, so maybe you got some questions. Got any arm wrestling questions, powerlifting questions, strength questions, gym questions? Um, questions about gains. Maybe you want to make some gains. Maybe we can help you out. Pictures, yeah, been busy. That's all right. Busy is good, right? You know, busy's good. What's that saying? It's better to be busy than bored, or something like that. Well, if that's true, picture, I think we might have to kick you out because this is a 18 and up only channel. You know, YouTube's supposed to be doing, letting people in. So it looks like YouTube is missing another job. So Ham Hoagie says, Nick, have you ever experienced spinal compression from powerlifting? Yeah, definitely. For about the first, like when I transitioned, like I was still squat when I was the first year of power of arm wrestling, I was still powerlifting, so I was still squatting, deadlifting, benching pretty heavy. But when I transitioned over to arm wrestling, I noticed, about 3 months, 6 months into a year, I noticed my spine decompressed, because for years, once, weekly, I would put, 800 to 1,000 pounds on my back. So all that compression over years, definitely compressed the spine. But when I stopped and I was focusing on arm wrestling, I noticed that I got taller. I got about an inch taller from when I transitioned over from powerlifting to arm wrestling. That's because of, the disc got, decompressed. So I thought that was interesting. But maybe if you mean like, but that was with no injury. That was just pure compression. I've had back injuries before, but it sounds like you just mean just compression in general. Yeah, I always think that's interesting. I grew an inch just from the spine, being decompressed. So picture says, what's the most you lifted? Depends on which lift. The squat, my biggest squat was 1,000 in a meet. Now these are all meet numbers. My biggest bench was 600 and my biggest deadlift was 880. Those are my biggest lifts in a meet. But I'm probably nowhere near those lifts right now, but that's all right. We're an arm wrestler now. Picture says, yeah, cool. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Well, how about you, Ham Hoagie? Have you ever experienced spinal compression? Are you experiencing yourself right now? Maybe you're just generally curious. So picture says, I've been given dumbbells, but nah, not really. Got to start getting those gains in, man. You got the tools. Now we just got to put in some work. Get them gains. Ham Hoagie says, yeah, I have an advanced deterioration of L4 and L5. So let's see. You have no, how advanced? You got no, is it bone on bone? That stinks. But that being said, I think you definitely can, even though it's, it's advanced. I think you can heal it. When I had two ruptured disc, L5, L4, and the biggest polyp injury I had was the two ruptured disc, and I dislocated the left SI joint. I was told many times that I needed surgery. I needed fusion. That I'd never really be a athlete again. So just be careful. I mean, definitely, there's definitely a lot of good doctors out there, but be careful if you're getting, if you're working with people, doctors, and their first thing is surgery. It's tricky. That's how the doctors make their money, is by slicing and dicing. So if they're not slicing and dicing, they're not going to be making as much money. So it's tricky. It's tricky. All right. Take care, picture. Take care. Thanks for joining. Ham Hoagie says, yeah, spine doctor said it's basically 80-year-old spine. LOL. That's all right. That's all right. If it's anything like arm wrestling, you got to watch out for those old guys because they're strong. Another thing, too, is a lot of doctors don't work with athletes. I'm sure you did sports as a kid and other things. Even weightlifting, I'm sure you mess around with some stuff. I don't know what you do for works. Maybe it's a physical job. But you'll be surprised what the body can do. If you'd like, I have a routine. It's like a 10-minute routine that I created when I injured my back. I would do this. It was like it's like, if you do it with no breaks, it's like 8 minutes. Somewhere 8 to 15 minutes, depending. But it's a group of body weight exercises that I put together. So, when my back was injured, I was in a lot of pain. It was hard to walk. It was hard to move. But when I would do these exercises, it would train the muscles that, stabilize the spine. So we do these exercises. The muscle would carry some of the stiffness. So when you stood up, the muscles would be, extra supportive. You'd be in less pain. So I would do that, 3, 4, 5 times a day throughout the day. And those exercises helped me, that was actually during the Arnold prep, during the Arnold Classic when I was powerlifting. So I did those exercises for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I was able to still get on the platform, and I ended up winning the Arnold Classic. So that was a great time. And Moogie says, I've had spine surgery when I was 26. What type of surgery? Fusion? Do they go in and clean it up or something? I mean, it can't be fusion. They go in and clean up some, maybe some bone spurs or something. Let's see. Hammy says, at first they didn't want to do anything. They thought I was drug seeking, but one x-ray had them kissing my feet. Honest mistake. I mean, if I saw you, Ham Hoagie, in the doctor's office, I'm like, yeah, this guy definitely wants drugs. That is funny. Let's see. Him always have no history of abuse too, but now I do those exercises you're talking about. Oh, okay, very cool, very cool. Yeah, they definitely help. They definitely help. And Hoagie says this vasectomy. So I forgot what that is. Um, is that when they clean up some scar tissue? But you'd be surprised what the disc in the spine can handle. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Stuart McGill that did this experiment. He took a cadaver spine, multiple cadaver spines, and he tested them on, on flexion, compression, shear, a whole bunch of stuff. And he wanted to see um, how much force the disc could take, how much force the bone could take. And it was very interesting. What they found out with compression, as long as the spine and the disc is in line, meaning, optimal position, like good posture, everything, as long as everything is in line, the bone breaks before the disc. It's when things become out of alignment, that's when the disc break before the bone. You start shooting fluid out, rupture disc. So I thought that was very interesting when I heard that, that the bone will crush before the disc explode as long as the spine is in line. So I thought that was very interesting. And Ham Hoagie says they scrape the bone. Yeah, okay. All right. So now I know what you're talking about. Yep, very true, Josh. So what Josh said, if anyone's under 18, we got to kick you out because this is an 18 plus only channel because there's swearing and stuff like that. Sometimes the humor gets a little, R-rated. But YouTube is not doing their job. Another job we need to get get on YouTube about. But that's all right. That's all right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we talk about? I'm almost done with the pre-workout. Got a little bit left. Est, what's up, man? He says, "What's up? What's up?" Est, I think I saw your friend request, same last name, so I'm pretty sure that's you. So, looks like we're Facebook friends now, if I'm not mistaken. Or it's some random person I just accepted friend request with the same last name. Oh, good. He said, "Yep, it's me." Oh, good. That's good. That's good. But we only got a couple minutes left, guys. We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. It was a fun one. Appreciate everyone hanging out. You guys got any final questions? Now would be the time. I'll be in the gym for a recovery lift. Probably 10, 15 minutes after this video ends. It's going to be a good one. I'll probably do one medium lift, one exercise, and the rest of the workout will be recovery. As says the jacket looks fit and nice, man. Oh, I appreciate that. That's nice of you. Yeah, it's a nice warm jacket. Definitely is. Definitely is. I've had the heater on since in the garage. I put the heater on since I think it was 5 or 6 when I turned it on. So I'm going to see how it does. You know, it was a little chilly in there before. Should be a little warmer now. Let's see. Oh, that says, what temperature is it at your place? I'm not sure on the exact temperature right now. I don't have a thermometer or anything like that, but it's probably maybe 20, 25 maybe. Could be lower. Definitely cold enough to freeze stuff. I would say maybe in the 20s, maybe. Well, all right, guys. That's it for me. So about 15, 30 minutes, we'll be in the gym again, doing a recovery lift. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, if you want to keep on hanging out, get the gains with us, lift along, feel free. We'll be in the lab in about 10, 15 minutes. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you